Do the right, sweet-tasted right victory. Father of brand activism, ice cream company Ben&Jerry'S. The death of George Floyd sparked nationwide protest against racism, as protesters take to the street in the response to the killing of George Floyd. Companies are taking various steps into the nationwide conversation. We call this as brand activism or CEO activism. Lots of black scares on Instagram, statement by CEOs decrying racism. Nike posted a video with a twist on its slogan, "For once, don't do it." The company argued that it being choosing complacency or not being part of the change. A few days ago, Band-Aid launched diverse colors of bandages. It is really a great move. And CEO of the Google sent a note named "Our commitment to racial equity" to the company. Awesome. Then, who's the father of brand activism? Who started this great movement? It is the top-ranked ice cream company, Ben&Jerry'S. They know the power of the brand, and they do the right things to change the world. Okay, today's story is about the original capital A activist, Ben&Jerry'S. In a rare move, multiple brands speak out against racism in America. It is called brand activism. Companies like Nike, Apple, Microsoft, Google, Twitter have aligned themselves with the Black Lives Matter movement, shortly #BLM. They released official announcement and SMS post taking a strong stand against racism after George Floyd's death. Racial unrest spurred many companies to speak up on social media, in emails, and elsewhere over the past few months. For some brands, it was a new territory. But for Ben&Jerry'S, speaking out about white supremacy and other social issues is essential to its business. And its silence is not an option message. Ben&Jerry'S issued 4 policy-oriented calls to action, reflecting its decades of advocacy work, which they followed up with 12 ways you can help eradicate white supremacy. Ben&Jerry'S is top-ranked ice cream brands of the United States with about $681.5 million worth of sales in 2019. It is much more than Häagen-Dazs. There are companies who back the Black Lives Matter movement, but no one talked about the sincerity of Ben&Jerry'S movement, since the brand Ben&Jerry'S built on the brand activism, and the management philosophy of CEO is carrying capitalism. No more words are needed. It's truly enough to take a look at Ben&Jerry'S announcement. All of us at Ben&Jerry'S are outraged about the murder of another black person by Minneapolis police officer last week, and the continued violent response by the police against protesters. We have to speak out. We have to stand together with the victims of murder, marginalization, and repression because of their skin color, and with those who seek the justice through protests across our country. We have to say his name, George Floyd. The murder of George Floyd was the result of the inhumane police brutality that is perpetuated by the culture of white supremacy. What happened to George Floyd was not the result of bad apple. It was the predictable consequences of racist and prejudiced system and culture that has treated black bodies as the enemy for the beginning. Ben&Jerry'S response to the killing of George Floyd includes a clear description of how Floyd died and calls on Trump to denounce white supremacy. It also details H.R. 40, a House bill that if passed, would create a commission to study the effect of the slavery and discrimination on African Americans and come up with the recommendations for making amends. The statements support the family of the George Floyd's request for a national task force that prioritizes ending racial violence and holding police accountable. Lastly, it calls on the Department of Justice to better defend the right of the black people and other people of color. Because of the Ben&Jerry'S poignant and heavy wording of the statement, their lengthy and pointed message on its website blames Floyd's killing on inhumane police brutality that is perpetuated by the culture of white supremacy. The company calls for the white America to acknowledge its privilege and for the need for concrete actual actions. Their announcement is applauded since they pointed call to dismantle white supremacy stands out among tepid corporate American statements. Ben&Jerry's statements is so extraordinary among others like Stand By You. This isn't the first time of the company have used its platform to speak out on political issues and have taken for a social stance. Then let's go deeper to the Ben&Jerry'S itself and its brand history. What makes them to the father of brand activism or CEO activism? It goes back to the founding story of the company. Starting from the day one, before they made their company, they struggled to stand with the right things. Since its founding in 1978 as a scoop shop in Burlington, Vermont, Ben&Jerry'S have grown to become the top-ranked U.S. ice cream brand with the product distributed in 38 countries around the globe. At the same time, founders Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfield built on the company's three-part mission: economic, social, product, that aim to create linked prosperity for everyone connected to the business. Throughout the years, Ben&Jerry'S have found that its work on progressive issues, including racial justice, environment, and refugees, leads to a greater customer loyalty and a stronger bond with employees and business partners. So, here are the great fruits of their social works. Ben&Jerry'S released brand new ice cream flavors with a new package design which tell us the right things, in actions and in cost benefiting, master sending ice cream products. Here are the Ben&Jerry'S political flavors. Justice Remixed. In 2019, Ben&Jerry'S launched a new Justice Remix'd package in conjunction with the civil rights organization, advanced project to spotlight structural racism in broken criminal legal system. Justice Remix'd is dedicated to critical justice reform which do never tell the racist. PECAN Resist. 2018, they announced the flavor PECAN Resist, aimed at resisting the regressive and discriminatory policies of Donald Trump's administration. PECAN Resist pronounced similar to the peaceful resistance. They wanted to build a future that values inclusivity, equality, and justice for the people of color, women, the LGBTQ community, refugees, and immigrants. YEARNING. In 2016, Ben Cohen, one of the co-founders of the Ben&Jerry'S ice cream and a longtime Bernie Sanders supporter, has for months to talk about making a special flavor for his home state senator, the YEARNING. This flavor featured a milk chocolate disc covering the top of the plain mint ice cream. The disc is meant to represent the huge majority of economic gains that have gone to the top 1% since the end of the recession. Beneath it, the rest of us, which entails the major policies of Bernie Sanders. For eating the mint ice cream, which is under the disc of chocolate, we have to crush the 1% of chocolate layer. This let us actually DIY experience the Bernie's policies. Bernie's back. In 2019, wrapping up to 2020 presidential election, Bernie's Bag came up as a special limited edition flavor. This ice cream refers both to the Sanders' second run for president, as well as the name of the new pint dedicated to the Vermont senator. Bernie's Bag is similar to the story of the lost Bernie's Yearning, but the flavor is different. Hot cinnamon ice cream with one very large chocolate disc on top and a very stiff buttered toffee backbone going down the middle. The description explains the symbolism of each component. The chocolate disc represents all the wealth that have risen to the top of the 1%. The backbone represents Bernie's steadfast determination to unrig our economy. And the hot cinnamon is our political revolution holding politicians' feet to fire to make America work for working people of all races and genders. I do. In 2015, Ben&Jerry'S renamed classic flavor to celebrate the Supreme Court's momentous support of same-sex marriage. The name of the new package, I Do, reminds us the I Do slogan. Yes, PECAN. Ben&Jerry'S reintroduced classic flavor with a clever new names. It comes Yes, PECAN. Basically, butter pecan as the unofficial Obama ice cream. Yes, PECAN sounds like Yes, We Can, the campaign slogan of Barack Obama. Proceeds from the sales of Yes, PECAN go to the Common Cause Education Fund, which encourages citizen participation in our democracy. Ben&Jerry'S message is not only limited to the political issues. They go every corners of the world where right values matter. It has been fighting for climate changes and finding ways to reduce the environmental impact of their business. Save our SWIRED. When the Paris Climate Summit emerges in 2015, Ben&Jerry's met the issue of climate change with a global campaign to activate fans and citizens around the world. They came up with a new flavor called Save Our SWIRED, with a bed of raspberry ice cream, swirled with a river of marshmallows and raspberry, and white and dark fudgy cone-shaped chunks. The new flavor was kicked off on the company's Free Cons Day in April to inspire citizens for climate change. The flavor comes with a message. Dig out a spoonful. You can't help but notice that those cones appear to be melting. A melted ice cream, even after putting it back in the freezer, is never quite the same. A melted word would be even worse. And as the Ben&Jerry's recognize, it is not necessarily those who have left the ice cream out who will pay the price, but everyone will. And for showing this idea vividly, they came up with an awesome slogan. If it is melted, it is ruined. With the ice cream which looks similar to the shape of our precious earth, when ice cream is 2 degrees warmer than it should be, for Ben&Jerry'S is a mess. But for the planet, it is a metaphor because a 2-degree warming our planet's climate would be equal dramatic but much more significant impact. Ben&Jerry'S philosophy and caring capitalism. Back in the early 80s when CSR was still on the rise, Ben Cohen adopted the phrase, caring capitalism. Both Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfield remain local government and global heroes for their outstanding community activities. They've become the inspiration for many businesses striving to become more socially responsible over the past 4 decades. Since 1985, the Ben&Jerry'S Foundation has funded 7.5% of its annual pre-tax profits to community organizations across the country. That amount to $1.8 million annually, not including the hundreds of thousands of dollars they've donated to progressive causes over the years, such as racial justice, climate change, peace building, and more. You may be wondering how this ice cream company became one of the most best social impact companies in the world. Is it because of their give back model to charitable causes? Or is it because they take a public stand on progressive social and environmental justice issues? Perhaps it is the sustainable way that they have made and packaged their ice cream? The answer is yes to all the question marks. Ben&Jerry'S 3-part product, economic, and social mission combined with their linked prosperity concept is an exemplary model for conscious capitalism done right. The company's growth in sales and in advocacy continued even as the Ben&Jerry'S was acquired in 2000 by Unilever. While some worry that the acquisition would affect the company's grassroots work, Ben&Jerry'S has built on its purpose-driven model and further cemented that commitment in 2012 by becoming a certified B Corporation. Passing a rigorous assessment of its social and environmental performances, verified by the independent non-profit B Lab. And Cohen and Greenfield also personally have the history of supporting social justice movements. In 2005, it protested oil drilling in the Arctic National-Wide Refuge. In 2011, it supported the Occupy Wall Street movement, and they have been supporting the BLM movement from 4 years ago. In 2016, both Cohen and Greenfield were arrested amid Democracy Awakening protests, aimed at protesting voters' rights, among other issues per a police report in CNN. In a statement about the arrest, the company said, "If you care about something, you have to be willing to risk it all, your reputation, your values, and your business, for the greater good." It is hard for the brands to weigh in on the social issues, but the Ben&Jerry'S did it and boldly speak up for the right values, and that is why they are the best. I'd honor and love to finish this video with the final remark of the Ben&Jerry'S announcement. What happened to George Floyd was not the result of bad apple. It was the predictable consequences of the racist and prejudiced system and culture that has treated black bodies as enemy from the beginning. What happened to George Floyd in Minneapolis is a fruit-born of toxic seeds planted on the shore of our country, in Jamestown in 1619, when the first enslaved men and women arrived on this continent. Floyd is the latest in the long list of names that sketches back to that time and that shore. Thank you so much for watching my video, and please subscribe to my channel and show your thumbs up. And I will hop around the world and bring lots of thousands of funny stories to you. Let's hop around together. Thank you, and see you again!